knew that I wanted to make a contribution.
I think that's good.
That's great. I love that.
Aaron Burnett out front tonight at 7 Eastern on CNN.
CNN Saturday night at 8, a Fareed Zakaria GPS special. The U.S. ranks 26th in education. How do we put America back on top? The best minds offer the radical ideas. Fixing education. CNN Saturday night, 8 Eastern.
Go, sir. Political Buzz, your rapid-fire look at the best political topics of the day. 3 questions, 30 seconds on the clock. And playing today, Democratic strategist Robert Zimmerman, Dean Obadala, the Arab American Comedy Festival, and GOP strategist Ron Bonjean. First question, guys. We're about 10 minutes away from President Obama's news conference on the shift in U.S. military strategy. Will this become a campaign issue for the candidates? Ron?
Yeah, I think it actually will be. Although this year is going to be an economic election, the issue over defense and the strategy and the defense cuts will definitely be an issue for Republican candidates for the Republican candidate this fall. Absolutely.
Robert?
Well, certainly the Republican candidates are going to try to make this an issue this year. I mean, Mitt Romney's advocating keeping troops in Iraq. He's advocated zeroing out our foreign aid to countries like Israel. But the reason it won't get any traction is because the president's policies in terms of military strategy have achieved great success. Therefore, it's got broad appeal. For example, his relentless pursuit against terrorists and dismantling the leadership of al-Qaeda, including Osama bin Laden, withdrawing our troops from Iraq and extracting us from that civil war, and forming coalitions to defeat dictators like Gaddafi. So therefore, it's not going to be a partisan issue.
Of course it's going to be a partisan issue. It's an election year. This is what happens. The Republicans will say, we can't defend ourselves. If we're attacked, the best we're going to respond with is an angry email or a tweet about other countries. But you know what? The polls are clear. I saw a recent poll. 80% of voters, #1 issue, the economy. National security, 8th. It's just like 1992 with Bill Clinton's famous internal memo. It's the economy, stupid. That's what it is. It's all about the economy. Who can get us working? Who can get the economy working again? That person wins. It's not going to be about national defense. It'll be about the economy only.
All right, well, Americans are divided on whether they would elect a Mormon president. This is according to a recent poll conducted by Poll Position. It had more than 1/3 of respondents saying no. So is there anything short of converting that will win over these voters? Robert?
You know, the reality of life is that religious bigotry, sexism, racial discrimination is part of our culture and tolerated in too many quarters of our society and in the media for that matter. But the great accomplishments we can take pride in is watching how our political processes help us overcome these discriminations. For example, John Kennedy's election to the presidency as a Roman Catholic. Certainly Barack Obama's election to the presidency. So there are many good reasons why Mitt Romney should not be elected president, but I hope for the sake of our republic that religious discrimination is not one of them.
Ron?
Yeah, there were polls out in the 2008 campaign on President Obama and on electing an African American president, and we saw that necessarily was not a problem at all. I think that with Mitt Romney, he's going to have to overcome that. I think he's going to have to make sure people know who he is and that he's a competent leader. Once people identify with the actual candidate, that those other problems usually go away as long as he can overcome the issue based upon personality.
Dean?
I think, honestly, the best way to break this down is exposure. Romney's got the money. Invite everyone in America to a free ski trip in Utah. Get to know Mormons. I was there recently. I found them to be the warmest, nicest people I've met almost anywhere in the country. But it is, just like Robert said, like John Kennedy. 1960, John Kennedy went to Houston, gave a speech to the Southern Baptist ministers, addressed the issue directly. Americans overwhelmingly open-minded. I found that as a Muslim touring the country, but they have questions. You have to answer it. Answer it directly. Have a town hall meeting, publicize it, put it in the media, answer the questions that Americans have, and you'll see. It'll be overcome. This will be gone.
All right, buzzer beater here. 20 seconds each on this one. Let's take a listen to what Conan O'Brien had to say about McCain's endorsement of Romney.
A big story today. John McCain has endorsed Mitt Romney for president. John McCain endorsed him, yeah. Now, it didn't help that McCain began his endorsement by saying, "From the man who brought you Sarah Palin."
So what do you guys think? Do endorsements matter? Ron?
Well, I think they do matter. Clearly, the Romney campaign calculated this out. They wanted to bring in John McCain, who won New Hampshire in 2008, and they thought it would be a good idea to fill that day up with a key message. These guys are very calculated. They've won Iowa, and clearly this is working for them.
Robert?
You know, the joke in political circles is that John McCain had to decide amongst the choices to endorse who he hated least, and he came up with Mitt Romney. The reality is, yes, endorsements like that create a great degree of media excitement and political buzz, but the real trick is whether an endorsement puts troops on the ground and helps pull a vote. Let's not forget Senator Kennedy endorsed Barack Obama with great fanfare. Hillary Clinton swept Massachusetts in the Democratic primary.
Dean?
As an independent, John McCain does not sway me. I look to people who I respect and who I like more. I'm waiting for the Kardashians, obviously. In fact, the stepfather is the key. Whoever he goes with, he's been through a lot. I'm with him. If not, Mike the Situation. I'm half Italian. I'm looking for Mike to come out, maybe Snooki. Those are the people America wants to hear from, not the politicians.
Dean, that is so frightening. Thank you three very much. Appreciate it. All right, try and wrap your head around this. A runaway teen in Texas manages to dupe local police, the federal government, and the government of Colombia. The girl, a U.S. citizen, winding up being deported to the South American country. Her family pretty angry and wants her back home.